My name is Currie, I'm 20 years of age and I'm from London. So I was 16 years old, I was in school, getting bullied a little bit, and as you do, you go on YouTube, you search up the self-defense tactics, you search up the ways to sort of defend yourself, and MMA came up. And instantly I went to an MMA gym in Croydon, Lions Pride MMA. MMA Manor's gym, a very, very tough, hard gym, hard sparring. It was a good way to get indoctrinated into the sport, because if you can make it at Lions Pride, you can make it anywhere. So instantly I got a good idea what this sport was about, the hurt business. From there, Lions Pride shut down. I then went on to Nova Forza and Kettle's gym, but I was training with a guy called Dino Maringu, very, very crafty stand-up fighter. From then on, I've sort of moved on to Hodger Gracie for my jiu-jitsu, which was one of the best moves I've ever made. The jiu-jitsu gym there is the best in the country by a mile. There's nothing even close. I've been able to go to Henzo's. I've been able to really get a full understanding of the jiu-jitsu game. My wrestling's improved. There's fantastic wrestlers. And then from there I've had brilliant boxing training since Lions Pride days. I've got the same boxing coach, Chris Ocko, former Commonwealth Cruiserweight champion, fantastic boxing coach. He's coaching Ben the Butcher Vickers at the moment, a top prospect in boxing, so look out for that guy. Also stand-up Muay Thai, Theo Theodulu from Nova Forza, he's still with me, he helps me a lot. I have a movement coach in Grant Keywood, very, very good with the body, understanding balance and coordination, reflexes. Got a fantastic strength and conditioning coach. That's something that people don't really realise, how much technique is involved in strength and conditioning. And Dan is just, from SSP Caterham, he's a beast. He's got me very, very strong. So I've got a fantastic team. I don't think I've left anyone out. If I have, then I apologise. I was bullied pretty heavily in school from the age of 13 to 16. I didn't really have many friends. It was just a shit time, to be honest. It was a horrible time. The thing is, I'm someone who was born with a bit of money. So a lot of people always say to me, oh, why are you doing MMA? It's for poor kids, it's for kids that come off the street. You can have all the money in the world. If you're not happy, you're not happy. I was in a boarding school getting the fucking shit bullied out of me. I mean, I'd be getting pushed against the wall. The guy spits in my face, I'd be crying in my room. And as I was crying in my room, I look at my computer and I saw a video of McGregor fighting. At the time it was Dennis Seaver, just doing what he's doing. I was just instantly inspired, and that made me want to go to an MMA gym. For about 3 years I was just low. No understanding of self-defense, no understanding of how to defend yourself in a situation if someone's got you here, or I don't know what to do. So I lived with a lot of fear, a lot of name calling. It was a crap time, but I'm very, very grateful for that, because that set the fuel, that lit the fire, should I say, for me to go into this MMA game and attack it. And I love this stuff, I love it. I love fighting, I love the skills. I love learning new techniques wherever I can find it. I don't believe you see all the techniques in one gym and there's this one guy who knows everything, like a lot of people seem to be brainwashed to think. I go everywhere. Anywhere that I can find information, I go. Henzo's, heel hooking, I go to Cop's gym. Masasi's showing me a technique on how to throw your jab a bit faster. I go up to Titan, Brad Pickett's helping me with my wrestling gets better. I go to Hodges, Keywan Gracie's showing me this, Charles Negramente showing me this, and I've had so many fantastic fighters help me along the way, and it's just built me. And for someone that's only been training for under 4 years, I'm pretty happy with how much I've gained. I've not been training since I was 5. I've only been training for 3 3/4 years, and full time that is, but I'm on my way. Training martial arts gives you confidence, it gives you self-belief. You're able to walk down the street with your head up rather than looking down It gives you I'm watching at the moment the UFC 25 years, and there's Georges St. Pierre's, GSP's got a documentary on that called Bullyproof. I personally believe MMA should be taught in schools. I'm not saying kids need to be battering each other or fighting or something, but at least teach them self-defense. There's a lot of evil, nasty people in this world, a lot of people that just want to make your life a misery for no reason. And people need to be protected against that, and I believe martial arts is the way to do that. Self-defense is the key. You know, we can reason with someone, but if they put hands to fist, it doesn't matter if you're right in the argument. Whoever wins the fight wins the argument. So I personally believe self-defense. It also teaches you discipline. Look at Habib. Look at the amount of respect he has for his father. Look at the amount of discipline the man's got. That's all from martial arts. That's all from discipline, self-respect, keeping your body in good shape, but also treating other people with respect. You know, if you're sitting on a train and a woman's standing next to you, if you don't give your seat to that woman, you know, you're an arsehole. That's what martial arts does. It makes you humble. You're getting tapped out on a daily basis. I get beaten up all the time. I'm boxing with boxers. I'm getting my face jabbed off. I'm wrestling with wrestlers. I'm getting out wrestled. I'm grappling with grapplers. I'm getting tapped. I'm getting beaten on a daily basis, and that forces me to be humble. I must be humble, because if you're not humble in this game and you don't respect the game will swallow you up. And that's why I believe martial arts is amazing for bullies, not for bullies, but well, it could be as well. But that's the thing. Martial arts can also make it. What it does with people is it either makes you a bully, or it also gives you self-respect. Not everyone in MMA is a nice guy. There's a lot of bullies as well in MMA. You've got a lot of gym bullies, a lot of people that beat someone up in the gym for no reason or just whatever. So I'm not always saying it's a good thing, but in terms of a school environment where there's no pro fighters or anything, just being able to learn a simple submission, or not even a submission, just holding someone off, that goes a long way. At the time I went to Lions Pride, Jimmy Manuel was ranked 9. I knew nothing about MMA, didn't know who anyone was. It was just the local gym. At this point I went to a school called Royal Russell. No problems with this school, it was all good, but I was still, what's the word? I was still sort of haunted from my earlier school days from the previous year. Lions Pride was the local gym. The head sort of guy, the name there was Jimmy Manuel. And I mean, kill or be killed is probably the best way I could sum that guy up. Just an absolute savage, and very good guy, nice, good heart. Went to the gym. I learned a lot of basics that are still with me today. Gave me a lot of confidence as well, Jimmy Manuel, because the guy started mixed martial arts at the age of 28, which is incredible. To be able to go from 28 years of age with no previous martial art experience and end up at one point ranked 3 in the world with a fight with Volkan Oezdemir, where if he had won he would have fought DC or John Jones it would have been. Well, I think he had the steroid accusations or whatever, but he would have fought for the world title. So that's an incredible thing to think, because I'm a 16-year-old boy at the time, and I'm thinking I can't make it because I'm from football, and in football you can't make it if you start at 16. But here's Jimmy Manuel doing it from 28, so that gave me a lot of self-belief, and that was really the driving factor that made me want to pursue MMA as a career. So for that, I'm very grateful to Jimmy. Previous MMA coach of mine, a very, very crafty fighter, Dino Maringu, started calling me Drago in the gym. I don't know, maybe he thinks I resemble him a little bit. I'm pretty tall, I'm 6'3", pretty lean. I'm getting bigger every day, you know. SSP catering, great strength training, they're getting me big. I'm walking around at about 205 pounds, so always gaining, and I'm only 20, so I don't know, Drago, it just fit, and I like the name. I personally like the nickname as well. They started calling me it, so I just went with it. When you're in a fight and you know you've got such an advantage in a certain area, it's very hard not to use it. I'm not one of these guys you've got 2 different types of fighters. You've got fighters who fight with heart and all that, and then you've got fighters who try and be a bit more IQ. They're the rare ones, the John Jones, the Floyd Mayweathers, the GSPs, they're the IQ ones. They're the ones that do what they need to do to win the fight. Habib does what he needs to do to win the fight. I'm one of those guys. I do whatever it takes to win the fight, and most of the time the easy option is to just take someone down and maul them. And I'm very, very good at that, and I've improved a hell of a lot in the last year, especially with my ground. So my wrestling as well has come on leaps and bounds. Training at Titan with Brad Pickett, he's helped me a lot with the wrestling, and Hodges as well. Fantastic grappling, you know. And that now someone can shoot for a single heel hook. There you go. You know, it's a safe option as well, because when you're on the feet, you could be the best. Even Adesanya's been knocked out. You could be the best striker in the world, but it's when you have a horse, what do? When you want to brand it, you take it down, because if it's standing up, it has that kinetic energy. Kicks back, knocks you out, kills you. Taking someone down takes away that kinetic energy, and it takes away that sort of fluky shot which someone can land on you. I will start showing the striking, but I'm only going to start showing the striking when I need to show the striking. I'm not trying to impress anyone at the moment. I'm just trying to just win in devastating fashion, which will impress people. And I'm just, you know, people like the knockout. No one really understands the submission. They don't really get it. And that's why they're staying down here, because they don't encompass the full aspect of the game. You know, it's mixed martial arts. I study everything. I do everything at the highest level. And grappling is something which I've really taken to, and I like it. You're in control. It's a skill-on-skill based martial art. If I'm better than someone on the ground, very rarely will they catch me in a fluky triangle. But if you're in a clinch with someone, you know, all of a sudden an uppercut happens, your head gets switched off a little bit, you're one shot away from getting knocked out, or one shot knocks you out, and that freaks me out a little bit. So the ground at the moment is a safe option for me, and I'm going to probably keep using it. If you watch my fight with Vestigius and then you watch my next one, you can just see how much more switched on I am at the start of the fight, in the whole fight. I mean, not making any excuses. I tried to get the rematch with Vestigius because I want to show how much I've improved since that last fight with him. But he wants me to fight his coach instead in a kickboxing fight, which, you know, it is what it is. He doesn't want the fight again. That was me at my worst. I got that fight on 3 days' notice. I told my coach as we were walking to the fight, leave the water bottle, I'm going to beat him like in 10 seconds. I walked in through a 1-1-2, had no, you know, and I got clipped, and I still managed to win the fight. But what I learned from that was never, ever, ever overlook anyone. Never underestimate an opponent. And also, this is 6 ounce. It was amateur. It was 6 ounce gloves. These are small gloves. All it takes is the chin to get tipped, and you're on the ground. So I understood that I'm mortal. I understood that I'm not going to just be able to go in here and take chances with people. I've got to treat everyone with respect and treat them. You know, I was clubbing a week before that fight. I was doing some things I shouldn't have been doing, and I've learnt my lesson from that. And if you look at all my performances since the Vestigius fight, they're all pretty straightforward. All first round finishes and all submissions. So I've learnt a lot from that one. I'm 20 years old. I'm just going to keep compiling experience, keep building my knowledge. What's my short-term goals? 2 years' time, I want to be fighting Darren Till in UFC London. That's my short-term goal. I want to fight someone like Darren Till, UFC London. I'll beat Darren Till. Okay, he's talking shit. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's only 12. All right, we'll see. I think I'd smash Darren Till now. I think in 2 years' time, I'd annihilate him. I'm bigger than him. I've got better training than him. I'm stronger than him. I'm just smarter than him. I'll beat him. And if he's the top guy in the country around my weight, my goal is to be the best middleweight in the UK in 2 years. Once I've achieved that, whatever, you know, go on. I remember when I was, you know, starting out, a lot of people compared me to Luke Rockhold in terms of, you know, the way I sort of fight, that sort of stand-up, sort of jiu-jitsu sort of base. And now I'm really starting to improve my wrestling. I feel like I am gaining weight, but middleweight's my division. That's the division I want. I want to be big for the division. I want to stay at middleweight. I don't want to go up to light heavyweight. That's a 20-pound increase. You know, there should be a 195-pound division. I don't understand why there's not. But yeah, 185 pounds for the time being anyway. That's my division. That's the division that I'm going to go through. and if I can conquer 185, obviously I'm 20 years old, I'm about 205 pounds and I'm 20. I'm going to gain weight. I'm going to probably end up as a light heavyweight, but for the time being, middleweight. That's the objective. 6'3", 79-inch reach. Hodger Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. I'm starting to train with Jonathan Haggerty for Muay Thai, who trains at Underground MMA. Wrestling, Brad Pickett. MMA wrestling with Brad Pickett, a guy that out-wrestled Demetrius Johnson. Strength and conditioning with my coach Dan at SSP Catering. I've got a solid team, alongside being able to go to Cops Gym where Masasi trains, the best middleweight in the world for my division, and going to New York as well, where the master of heel hooks, Danaher, is at, well, the master of everything, to be honest. Danaher's a combat genius. So I've got a lot of avenues, a lot of places to go to get good, and I believe the middleweight division is a division that I'm going to run through. In 4 years' time, I will be the #1 at middleweight. When I'm 24, I may not have got the belt, but I believe I'll be the #1. And then, if I'm able to do what I'm saying I'm going to do, then I'll go up to light heavyweight. I think there's a lot of brainwashing in MMA, if I'm going to be honest. You know, I see a lot of loyalty talk go around. A lot of people don't like the fact that I train at loads of different MMA gyms. It just so happens I've been training for 3 years and 3/4 and I'm as good as I am. Cocky or not, that's the truth. And knowledge is not centered in one location. If you go to Thailand, guess what? They do the Muay Thai pretty good out there. If you go to Dagestan, they're going to do wrestling pretty good out there. If you go to New York and train with Danaher, guess what? They do jiu-jitsu pretty good out there. Point that I'm trying to make is knowledge is everywhere. It's everywhere, and I don't understand how people get brainwashed into thinking, right, I've got the best MMA gym in the world, this is the place, this is the team, it's bollocks. If that was the case, why aren't you winning all your fights? There is no such thing as the best MMA gym in the world. The world is the world. There is knowledge everywhere. I take information from a white belt, even if it may not be skill or technical, but it may be mentality. The way they think, the way they approach a situation, and I think, I like the way he approached that. There's a guy who's just started, I'm going to keep this to myself actually, but there's someone who I just spoke with today who's just made me see something completely different, and now I've started doing it and I'm feeling the benefits already. I'm going to keep that to myself, because 48 laws of power, you don't let other people know your secrets. But you know, I'm going to go everywhere. I'm going to try and get knowledge wherever I can. But at the same time, yes, I do have a base. It's Unity Fight Club. It's a group of very young fighters, 16, 19, 20, 21, 25, young guys. We train together, we help each other. Haitham Salah, Victor Quicks, two very good prospects. Victor Quicks will be fighting on Fightstar. He trains at Cops Gym with Masasi. So what happens is I go out to Amsterdam, I stay a week with Victor, and I train at Cops Gym with Gegard Masasi, Costello, who are both fighting on Bellator this weekend. I do that, I do some Dutch kickboxing, I do mitt work. This hat was given by one of Badahari's mitt man. I've got so much information, so many tools in the toolbox, and I learn. When I started staying in one location with the same body types, you're training for those body types. You're not training. The more bodies you go against, the more different things, the more different looks you get. You know, people can do what they want. I know what I know, and I know what I do is the right mentality. It's the right way of doing things. What a sick interview, bro. That was a fucking awesome interview. What an awesome interview, bro. That was class. That was class. That was a brilliant interview. I really enjoyed that.